SPF contouring, anybody? How about no? Grumpy, really grumpy.
Oh!
Hi skincare people, Custodio here, DH Traveler, asking today very much so the question, what is that skin wanted? What is that brain? What is that humankind wanted just before marketing got in the way? And I must say today we have a somewhat very different video because I had the shock of my life today. I'm shooting today a video about something I just saw today. And I have to thank Paula's Choice, the brand which I'm sure you are all familiar with. So I just saw the post they have done today. So today is the 25th of May of 2021. And Paula's Choice just put up on Instagram a post saying, say no to SPF contouring. And through these posts, I went digging a little bit further, and as I say, I had the shock of my life. I don't know if you are familiar with the concept. So in a nutshell, the idea of which is meant to be a new emerging trend in social media. So that's exactly what the post from Paula's Choice is saying. An emerging trend on social media demonstrates spot applying sunscreen for a contour highlighted effect. So in a nutshell, what this means is that there are people out there promoting the idea that if you selectively apply sun protection to areas which you want to not tan, so as to highlight those areas, expose your skin to the sun so that the areas where there was no SPF application can darken, can tan, and then you have that contouring, which is not a makeup contouring, it's an SPF contouring. Do you even grasp the monstrosity, the immensity of this absurd in terms of skin health, but also in terms of, I don't know even how to say it. I mean, words fail me because it's so, I was so not prepared for this. And if you haven't heard, I'm sure you're having exactly the same shock. I went to dig a little bit further and I realized that there is already some awareness about this problem, even though here on YouTube, not so much content about it. I'm sure very soon there will be more content about it. Imagine impressive younger people who will think that this is the latest way to go, because after a decade of contouring with all these celebrity tutorials that sometimes you also see people in public transports which are literally wearing a mask because contouring might work well with your Instagram filters, but it won't always work well in the naked eye in front of you sitting in a bus. But now you have this idea that you don't need makeup, you can actually use sun, nature, melanin, and a dash of sun protection to reach that result. So I'm not even questioning the result. I don't know how much of this will be visible because I don't care. And that's 2 or 3 messages I just want to convey in this video. Basically the idea that we think skincare because we think skin, so we think skin as a biological entity, and there is no way that those cells of the areas where you want to highlight and you want to sculpt will have the same damage and the same aging process just because you look darker. It's the idea that melanin is protecting you. So here, the first message, any tan, it's a defensive reaction from skin. Actually, in a past video, which I'm linking here, when I was talking about tranexamic acid, I was making my analogies and my metaphors, saying that melanocytes, the cells that produce melanin, they are a bit akin to octopuses. And then an octopus, when getting scared, produces more ink. That's exactly what melanocytes are doing. So a tan, regardless if you have an SPF, it's already a reaction of a defense. So if there is a tan, there is a moment where your skin rulers decided that there was an aggression. So the idea that producing melanin, it's a protection in its own, it's an absurdity. Melanin is a biological protection for a daily life, for an exposure which is not a volunteer exposure. Our ancestors would not lay under the sun to get melanin as a protection or as a sculpting element. So there is always an aggression element. You are to decide for yourself if you want to slightly tan, gradual tan. There is different levels of damage and hurt, but in my book, Tanning, it's always proof that there was somewhat an aggression inflicted to the skin. But then, of course, you can minimize the damage or you can exacerbate the damage. I think this SPF contouring brings us back also, and that's maybe the core message of this video. I think we need definitely to make a decision for ourselves, because no algorithm, no platform, nobody is going to make that decision for ourselves if we at an individual level don't make that decision, which is celebrity tutorials, trends on TikTok, because apparently that's why maybe this SPF contouring, I'm the last dinosaur on roaming on earth which doesn't know it, because I've never been to TikTok. And I'm not saying this to try to be funny or impressive, it's just a fact. I've never been to TikTok, so I don't know really how much of this is already visible there. If you are very much navigating TikTok, leave comment below if you heard about this SPF contouring. But one thing is for sure, this doesn't make any sense. SPF, it's an even, consistent layer on your skin. Celebrity tutorials, SPF, does it ring a bell? I mean, Gwyneth Paltrow, do we need to go back to that? I actually resisted. I have a video from the very beginning of the channel where I'm a bit bashing on Gwyneth Paltrow, but it's more because of these clean, and how much not backed by science claims she was doing in terms of whatever clean means. But one thing is for sure, I think she has topped that, and I resisted when these recent Vogue, was that Vogue magazine, Harper's Bazaar? No, I'm confused. I mean, that's how much. So sorry to one of those which is not the one. If it's Vogue, sorry to Harper's. If it's Harper's, sorry to Vogue. But the one which it is, I think magazines and these platforms, they also have a responsibility, because these things don't happen, these tutorials, they don't happen so spontaneously. There are briefings, there are people, teams around. The celebrity itself will have some sort of PR manager. So when this type of content goes up, it means that along the chain, either nobody cared or nobody's committed to any reality, any meaning, any substance to whatever we put up on behalf of our platform to an audience which we are supposed to have some respect for. So this Gwyneth Paltrow thing, I mean, it's hilarious. I mean, the highlighter, and she's not talking about SPF contouring. What she's saying is that she doesn't like to slather, I think it's slather, the expression she uses, SPF all over. So she's using a bit as a highlighter. By the way, applying that SPF just a few seconds after having applied her exfoliator, saying that she uses that exfoliator every morning. So I take it with a grain of salt. Maybe that's not the case, but if that's the case, and of course what she says is that it's a clean exfoliator without any toxic ingredients. So this is something that we need to make a decision for ourselves. And I personally think that this is really shocking. So to wrap it, I'm very thankful in this case to Paula's Choice, which is a brand which also is the token and the icon for fighting for SPF and educating about SPF application. I think if you yourself can influence people around you, especially younger people which are thinking about this SPF contouring idea, and by the way, to make something more out of this video, since I've been talking about SPF lately, I just posted on Instagram. So to also invite you, in case you don't follow me on Instagram, it's the first time you land on The Age Traveler. There is content here always about skincare. On Instagram, there is different content, also a lot about skincare, a little bit more personal as well, some more obsessions and a little bit more of sharing and opening personal things and other sides which don't fit here. I just have posted now saying about what SPF for the face, because I did a video last week about SPF for the eyes. link here in case you haven't seen it. And I was just being asked afterwards, so what if we don't have budget or time or energy to use the specific SPF for the eyes? Are there SPF generic face which I believe are safe for the eyes that I've tried myself? So on the post I was just saying, and I repeat it here, 3 price levels. So from my Swissline, which is the higher price in this case, 100% mineral brightening, so also for dark circles, SPF 45 PA+++. It's quite brightening, so you might want to combine it with your concealer or some eyeshadow even. Otherwise, maybe you enjoy that brightening effect without any brightening effect in terms of the white cast. Very invisible, Murad, CT, skin, SPF 50 as well, mineral as well. Never has made me cry, feel bad. And then closing with Paula's Choice that I already referred to, super light daily wrinkle defense, SPF 30, also a mineral. Very, very safe, used around the eyes. So I hope this somewhat more relaxed, not so structured, not so educational, but at the same time very real and very from heart. I always say when I close videos, say no to boring skincare. So I think today I'm going to make an exception, and I'm going to say, and asking you to repeat with me, say no to SPF contouring. For more skincare videos with SPF, without SPF, always with SPF, please consider following the channel, following on Instagram, click like, activate the bell.